my channel. I uploaded a pregnancy update, I think it was last week, and I was talking about how I was getting some Braxton Hicks contractions as well as some real contractions. And I got a lot of messages from you guys asking like what the difference is and how to tell which is which and all that stuff. So I thought I'd just make a video explaining everything you need to know about Braxton Hicks. So Braxton Hicks are actually real contractions, even though like people call them fake or whatever. They actually are real contractions. They're practice contractions, and they pretty much help get your uterus like ready and all that for labor. So it's practicing contracting. I actually went and got like a lot of research from a bunch of different websites and things and made sure that they were like authentic and good and all that, with backed up like sources and stuff. So I will be looking at my screen randomly for like parts that I forget. But yeah, as you guys know, your uterus is contracting from very early on. Like it's constantly contracting, but we usually don't feel it until around, I would say, about 30 weeks, give or take, unless it's not your first pregnancy. So my first pregnancy, I didn't feel contractions until around 32 weeks, like the Braxton Hicks. But then now this time around, I started feeling it. I think it was around 27 weeks. I started feeling them like really like often. So they say the more kids you have, the more you start feeling them sooner and stuff like that. I don't know why that is, but that I guess that's just how it is. So yeah, Braxton Hicks contractions are infrequent and they're not painful. They're just super uncomfortable, and it kind of feels like there's like pressure and tightening in your abdomen, and they usually last around 30 seconds. And once you understand what they are, you'll start feeling them more often because you'll be paying attention, and they're quite uncomfortable, but it really just feels like a lot of pressure. Yeah, so they just cause tightening in your abdomen. So if they begin to get, and they're called like practice contractions, but if they begin to get like frequent, I can't talk today, and regular, and if they're accompanied by like abdominal pressure, back aches, vaginal discharge, any kind of bleeding, whether it's like spotting or heavy bleeding, lower abdominal cramping especially, anything like that, then you should call your OBGYN or your midwife or doula or whoever you're having, because that could be, you could be going into preterm labor. So like I said, if the Braxton Hicks that you like, the pressure is accompanied by like cramping or anything like that, then I would just give your caregiver a call, just to make sure things are okay, because you could be going into preterm labor. So yeah, Braxton Hicks, they also can come more often if you're dehydrated. So I know that a lot of times I notice that I get them like a lot all of a sudden, and I'm like, okay, why am I getting so many? And then I remember like I didn't drink any water all day, so then I'll go chug a glass of water and then they stop. So they can come because you're dehydrated. So what I would do is, if you're getting Braxton Hicks, and just try drinking some water and then seeing like how frequent they are. Because if you are less than 37 weeks, and you're getting about 4 to 5 Braxton Hicks, so they don't have to be painful, but if you're getting about 4 to 5 Braxton Hicks an hour, so that's about every 10-15 minutes, then you could be in preterm labor. So again, I would call your caregiver. So like I said, it just really depends, but how frequent they are. But if they're getting like about 4 or 5 an hour, that's not much, but it could be you're in preterm labor. So I would try drinking some water and then seeing how you feel after that. And if you're still getting them, then definitely give your caregiver a call, because that could be the first sign of preterm labor, because they are real contractions. They're not fake. They're just practice contractions. So your uterus is still contracting, and it could bring on the official labor contractions if they keep it up. So yeah, you might want to just call your caregiver. What else did I have to talk about? Yeah, so someone actually asked me how to tell the difference between a Braxton Hicks contraction or your baby moving. Because I know like once you start getting big and tight, you start really feeling like so many movements, and it's really hard to discern. So the way I can tell the difference is that a contraction is feels like your whole entire abdomen is tightening. So the front and the sides, and it feels like there's a lot of pressure. And then when a baby moves, you're feeling pressure or tightening on just the side that they're moving. So whether it's the top of your stomach, the bottom, the right or left, whatever, you'll be feeling only on one side. So what you do is, if you're getting like that Braxton Hicks or whatever and you're not sure what it is, just put your hands on both sides of your belly and then just feel. And if you feel like it's tight all over, then you know that's a contraction. So once you can figure out like 1 or 2 or 3 of them, you're like, okay, I think I know what Braxton Hicks feels like. It'll be so much easier in the future, like to just know. You'll be washing dishes or something, and all of a sudden you'll be like, okay, yeah, that's a contraction. So that's a good way to tell. So yeah, a real contraction causes the cervix to thin out and open. And that's how obviously the baby comes out. And Braxton Hicks is more of like a practice contraction. So just to sum up the video. So they both are considered real contractions, but like a labor contraction like helps your cervix thin out and stuff, while Braxton Hicks doesn't do that. So you can get a bunch of Braxton Hicks and they won't really help your cervix thin out or anything or get ready for labor. Unless it's accompanied by the cramping or the bleeding or something like that. So yeah, keep a lookout for those signs. And yeah, but otherwise, if you're feeling Braxton Hicks contractions, it's nothing to worry about, unless, like I said, they're really frequent. I get them often if I'm doing a lot of work or walking or something like that too, so just keep that in mind as well. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative, and thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye!